Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Mindy, and today I'm going to be talking about how to make an INTJ fall for you. Either if you are dating them, if you're getting to know them, or if you're in a relationship with them, male or female, this video can help you to have a better insight into their minds and their worlds. So I'm going to tell you what are the things that melt their hearts and actually helps you to get closer to their heart. But before I start, I have a Ko-fi page where you can donate, you can buy me coffees, and that way you support my channel and you help me keep doing this. Also, I have one-on-one sessions, so check the information down below. And last but not least, I post 2 videos per week on Wednesdays and on Saturday. This is something recent that I have kind of changed and I'm doing lately. Do you hear the birds? I get distracted. So Wednesdays and Saturdays videos every week, so make sure to subscribe and to hit the like button if you find you like my video, of course. And now let's start. Of course, I'm going to tell you what are the things that you have to do or that you want to do in order to make an INTJ fall for you. But chemistry plays a big role, and how you're naturally built plays a role as well. So what I'm trying to say is you can do all of the things I'm going to tell you, and maybe it won't always work, because by doing those things that I'm going to mention, you will feel that that's not who you are, and that's totally possible. So be aware that you cannot push yourself. If you are the person who likes an INTJ, you cannot push yourself to be someone you are definitely not, and you can never be, all right? But the things I'm going to tell you are the things that I have seen firsthand that the INTJs really like, and they feel loved this way. If you're an INTJ, make sure to write in the comments below if you agree or not, and if you want to add up something else to what I'm saying, please do it. You're going to help the community. Point number 1, have an opinion. And why is this important? Because the INTJ is someone that is in their minds most of the time. They are thinking of something, they are trying to understand something, they are planning something, and they're gonna come to you because, let's say, you're getting to know them or you're dating them, and they're gonna say, I was thinking that this, I can do this, I have this goal and I can do it this and that way. And if you think, if this is the right word, if you think, the keyword, sorry, that what the plan they're gonna do, they're planning, they're telling you they're gonna do in order to accomplish this makes no sense, or that there is a better way, they want to hear it, because it's like you are opening up another world, another dimension to their thought, to their planning, to their ideas that otherwise they would not have if it wouldn't be because of you. So they like it when someone have an opinion, when someone says, like, even if you say you're wrong to them, I mean, nobody wants to be wrong, but even if you think that what they're trying to do or what they're thinking or their ideas are not particularly right, you can say it, because you're going to help them to have a different perspective, and you're going to challenge them. And the INTJ, it's not that they're looking to have arguments with everybody, but they want to, be, everybody, I think, somehow likes to be challenged, and that their point of view and their concepts are being challenged by this person. By having an opinion, you are going to get closer to them. That's what I have noticed. Also because there is this whole, verbal interaction. When you have an opinion, they said something and you go back and forth, you're gonna respond, and then they're gonna respond back, and you're gonna feed each other's opinion, you're gonna talk, and this is what having an opinion will create: communication. So you're going to be exchanging the most valuable, possibly, I think, the most valuable resource for the INTJ, which is their intellect. So if you're able to do that, by having an opinion is the easiest way you can get closer to them, to their intellect, by saying what you think, not being afraid, opening up, and say it. Just say it. Okay, point number 2 of how to make an INTJ for you is teach them something they don't know. Okay? And here is how it works. It's not that you are going to teach them something that they absolutely have no interest on, but you notice that you're doing something new and they seem to be interested. So it's not that you have to literally go and teach them, like come with me, but you tell them more about this something new you're doing, this new activity, this new world, these new ideas. If they show you a little bit of like they want to know more, they're interested, that's the moment when you can teach them something. When you teach them something, you're also doing the same that on the first point. You're getting close to their souls, which is their intellect. They want to be close to that person they are in love with their intellect. For the INTJ, love is connected to logic, and logic is connected to intellect. I'm not saying, like as I said in all the videos, many people think that INTJs are robots. I don't think so, but it is true that they experience love, romantic love, in a different way. Of course they feel love, but the way how they get to feel this warm feelings of love is, through their intellect. And in fact they can exchange ideas, you can challenge them, you can tell your ideas as well. And like the first point and the second point, if you can teach them something they don't know, they're going to feel you closer. Okay, number 3, share something substantial, something real, something meaningful, because you might inspire them. Okay, so don't be afraid of talking about your weirdest dreams, your weirdest aspiration, your weirdest ideas. When you do it, you might think like, okay, this person, I just met them and maybe they are not interested, and maybe but maybe not. So when you tell something substantial about yourself, think about it again. Intellect, you are something completely new and different. When you open it, you're real and somehow vulnerable. You're unique. There is no other person in the world like yourself, and you are giving them access to you, to how your world works, to how your mind works, to how your dreams work. And so you are showing them, first of all, it's like you're letting them like look at you like from this perspective of exploration, and you're a new person, but at the same time you're telling them something that they never thought of, because that's your world, right? And you might in turn inspire them. And this is something important. When you inspire an INTJ, you also touched something like important. Imagine that, but you telling them or being vulnerable about something very personal, they felt like they wanted to start a new hobby, or that they wanted to do something that they consider was impossible because of something that you share. So inspiration, yes, like if you inspire someone in every relationship and in every personality type, is going to be important. But what I'm telling you is like how is that you can get to the point of inspiring someone. All right, the INTJ, of course. My next point on how to make an INTJ for you is ask them about the things they like or they do. And okay, this should be just a regular formula for every human being. If you are with your friend, you should ask them about what they like or what they do. But with the INTJ in particular, it is really, really important. What they do or what they like are the things that they are the most engaged with in their heads, most likely. I mean, the INTJ might, like, they're dating you or they're getting to know you as a friend, whatever that is, but outside of you, they have particular like learning goals and goals with job, with their studies. They have things they're doing, and they're quite focused, and they're not doing many things at the same time. So on top of that, so the things that they choose to do, they really reflect who they are. So if they're interested in, I don't know, studying the biology of frogs, I don't know, just I don't even know how do you say that, but I just said something. If they're interested in something particular, let's say, make sure to like be interested and that you want to know more about it. But that's why I said at the beginning, this is also something that has to do with chemistry and compatibility, because maybe you are someone who definitely don't want to know more about their lives because that's not something that you're interested. But ask yourself, do you really like this person? Because this person's hobbies, interests, what they're studying, this is what their lives mostly is about. I said with many people, but for them it's even more. So make sure that you somehow get a little bit immersed, and you don't need to learn what they're learning, but you want to learn more. You want, like, on top of that, the INTJ likes people who are curious, who are like interested in different things and subjects. That's why the INTJ and the ENFP are a great pairing. But this advice I'm giving you is for every personality type, but there you go. So ask them about their things, what they like and what they're doing, learn more about it, be interested in them as a person, because what they do and what they like, that's who they are. All right, fifth one, this is really, really important. Don't fear their me time, because they're gonna like their me time, they're gonna need their me time. They're going to take, of course, if they like you and if they're in a relationship with you, they're going to make time for you and you're going to be together a lot. But they still will need their me time. Sometimes that me time is going to be them doing a particular hobby, or them watching a documentary, or them spending 4 hours at learning something in the evenings. And you should not be scared of that time to take for themselves. I mean, in other words, if you're someone who is going to be very insecure because of the time they're taking by themselves without you, and even more if they're going through a season when they're trying to learn something and they can be very focused and single-minded, and they might put a lot of time there, then you might not be the right partner. If you want this relationship to work, I mean, of course they have to make time for you, because if that's how it goes, right? But as much as, let's say, you like to go with friends 3 times per week, imagine that that's the same kind of need that they have to have their me time without you. And yes, I mean, there are INTJs that are like, when they are in love, they say like, okay, I don't want to take time alone, and they will do almost most of the same things with you. But don't feel offended when there is a moment when they need to just, go on their bicycles and cycle for 2 hours and they didn't invite you. Be okay with that, because that's, as I said, it's the same that for you, you need 3 times a week to see people if you're an extrovert. That's just the same. Don't take it personal and accept that that's who they are. Okay, the next one is be independent with your time. So connected to the one point before, the result is, if you don't feel scared, you're going to be independent with your time, do your thing, and sometimes they might even want to come along with you, and that's okay. But you also should aim, and no matter what personality you both are, you should aim to also have, your own thing running, your own life, either if you are a man or a woman. And this is something that will also the INTJ will appreciate, because they won't feel threatened that, because you don't have anything to do, then they will have to do more things with you, because that will create more tension. And what I've seen that happens is that when you have your own thing running and the INTJ also has their me time, they might start getting interested in what you're doing. They might want to come along, and they might want to, be there also in the things that you're doing, or not, but I've seen that this tends to happen. So it's important that if you like an INTJ, you're aware of this, and that you also, as a person, as an individual, manage to also be okay with managing your own time and doing your own thing. Of course, you want to include each other, but have that time for yourself as well. And if you're a very extroverted person, maybe that time for yourself includes friends, includes family. Maybe you're not 100% alone, but you're okay doing those things, and you like doing those things by yourself without this INTJ person. Next one. Okay, I have something that I know that many INTJs might say in the comments below that they don't need presents, but I say it here that when you buy them presents, buy something presents that demonstrate that you paid attention to them. And one thing that I find fascinating of the INTJs is that they don't seem to need like a lot of things. Like they don't want a lot of expensive things, or they don't want in general to even receive presents. But when you give them a present, if it's something that really connects to something they're doing, they will feel like blown away. I'm gonna give you an example. So a while ago, one of my best friends, INTJs, with whom I grew up, he was writing a book. I think I even mentioned him in other videos I have. I'm going to quote my INTJ video below, so when you finish watching this video, you can go and watch more INTJ videos. Go and watch the description. So he was writing a novel, and I knew that he was writing all around his house, like little papers here and there, papers all around, notes here and there. So I bought him a very nice notebook. It was just like, it was a nice notebook, and that looked like, because he was writing a super like old Greek novel, so I thought maybe I can buy him something that looks like an old book, you know. So I bought that kind of old book notebook, and I gave that present on Christmas, and he literally almost died. And that was not an expensive present. That was something that when I was at the store, I was like, oh my god, that notebook reminds me of these old manuscripts, and he's writing this novel, so that's a perfect Christmas present. And he was so blown away. So listen, if you want to surprise your INTJ, you don't need to buy expensive things. Think about what is the thing that they like, or they're working on something. If you find an object that can be useful for them, or something that can be, I don't know, a little decoration, or something that, you know, you paid attention to whatever they said they were doing, something that looks like what they're doing, or something that reminded you of that job they're doing, that studies they're doing, where they're busy, they're gonna like it. And again, you don't need to spend a lot of money in presents. Of course, if you want, you can do it. But again, buy presents that demonstrate that you paid attention. For instance, for other types, it might not be the case. You can have an ESFJ who is pretty, like they didn't even need those new shoes, and someone bought it for them and they really love it. But it's not the same with the INTJ. So again, INTJs, I would love to read you in the comment section. And the last point, and before I finish, hit the like button right now. Help me with the YouTube algorithm. You're gonna help me to have more visibility. All right, so the last one, be genuine, be yourself. And that is with every personality type, of course. But with the INTJ, that's not an exception. I cannot read people, they can tell you. I cannot read people. I don't know what people is going through, but somehow the authenticity of a person is perceived. And I believe that's one of the reasons that the INTJ feels attracted to the ENTP and the ENFP, because these two kind of personalities are quite genuine. They're quite raw with not only their emotions in the case of the ENFP, and their thoughts in the case of the ENTP. They're quite authentic, and so my advice for you is be yourself, and when you're being yourself, you will actually see and understand if you're actually a good match or a bad match, if you should be together or you should not be together. But I know that the INTJ appreciates very much people who is real and authentic. So don't try to be someone you're not. You don't try to do the things I just mentioned in this video because you want to convince them, because you like them. You don't need to be someone who you're not. Maybe you're not even a good match and you're trying to force things. So there you go. Be genuine. So these are the points on how you can make an INTJ fall for you. I advise you to go and check my description of my video. You will have all of the links for my one-on-one sessions, for buying me coffees, for the videos you can watch next. And thank you for watching. It means a lot to me that you're here up until now, and see you next time. Bye.